Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, October 5th, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Although high commendations were being echoed in Parliament today for former Attorney General Judith Jones-Morgan, members on the opposition bench declined to express any sentiments. The opposition members remained stoic as praises were being showered on the Attorney General for her 16.5 years of service. Jones-Morgan, who is this country's first female Attorney General, is also the longest serving not only in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but also in the entire CARICOM region. On the government side, there was an outpouring of commendation for the Trinidadian-born Vincentian by marriage, who was called to the local bar in 1991. Jones-Morgan was lauded for her prowess in the academic and professional field as a graduate of the University of Cambridge. She was also praised for her diligence and the love of people.
Mrs. Jones-Morgan scrupulously followed the requisites of her public office. It is not that Mrs. Morgan had no political opinions on this or that public policy or matter. It is simply that she conducted herself in a manner which allowed her to keep partisan politics at bay. Admirably, she deemed the partisan politics irrelevant to the tendering of her legal advice. Mrs. Jones-Morgan's tenure as Attorney General was marked by much legal activism and reform.
Dignity, professionalism, and met all of this with aplomb. Never once have I heard or seen her return insult for insult or fire for fire. She was cool, calm, and collected. She is a woman of character and Christian grace.
And the Honorable Attorney General, after giving me a fair amount of rope, sat me down and said, I think you may have forgotten what this case is about. It is about a child who you have conceded to me was in all likelihood wronged in her care. And when you are representing the state, you have to be concerned with things other than simply victory on the pleadings. You have to be concerned with doing justice and doing right.
If lawyers don't research, then we can't have that great wealth of knowledge coming forward in the courts. Mrs. Jones-Morgan emphasized this, and I wish to thank her for her commitment over the years and to wish her the very best.
The fact that she broke the stranglehold of male occupancy in that office, and that she was prolific in her output. She was known for efficiency. She was known for being diligent in the performance of her duties and in being eloquent in all the things that she did. She took her work seriously. She was concerned about the work to the point where she went beyond the call of duty, took an interest in her staff. She was not only good in her legal capacity, but she was good in her managerial capacity as well, in her leadership of the men and women who were under her charge in that office.
The ratio of this country's public debt to the gross domestic product, the GDP, now stands at 81% compared to 71% 5 years ago. This information was given in Parliament today by Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, in response to a question by former opposition leader Annie Eustace. PM Gonsalves said the government's debt is 61%, while the public corporation state enterprises to GDP ratio now stands at 11%.
The debt to GDP ratio at the end of December 2012, total public sector debt, 71%, of which the government debt to GDP ratio stood at 61%, and the public corporations, the state enterprises, to the GDP ratio is 11%. The end of 2013 is 74%. The central government portion of this, 63%, and the public corporations, 11%, using the same ratios. End of 2014, 78%, central government, 67%, and the public corporations, debt to the GDP ratio, 11%. The end of 2015, 79% central government debt, the GDP ratio at 68%, public corporations 11%. End of 2016, almost 81%, which 65% is for the central government and 16% approximately for the public corporations.
The Prime Minister also announced that his administration has secured some $180 million in debt relief, which amounts to 10.5% of the GDP.
Small bits and pieces since then, but in this year, in fact in the month of June, having been seeking to get further debt reduction in a number of areas, I can report that debt relief amounting to about $180 million, or some approximately 11%, or 10.5% of GDP has been secured. The instrument has been signed by the relevant authority in that country. I've been informed of it, but we haven't received the instrument yet. But those items of the debt we wouldn't be paying on, so that would be reducing it to the extent that I've just indicated, about 10.5%. Mr. Speaker, we have a debt management, I've repeatedly said this, I have a debt management strategy, and we are refining it and developing it all the time.
Minister of Transport and Works, Senator Julian Francis, has apologized to workers stationed at the Argyle International Airport, the AIA, and residents in and around the Stubbs and Calder communities who experienced nausea last weekend due to the emission of a sulfuric smell from the asphalt plant. Noting that he was addressing the issue before a different spin was given to the story, the Minister of Transport and Works, while speaking on Star FM on Tuesday evening, said that there was an incident at the plant where the asphalt was mistakenly overheated, and as a result, the mixture emitted the described scent.
Done some research on it, we've done some tests on it, and members of the fire brigade out there got sick, persons in the control tower got sick. I want to apologize to these persons. There seemed to have been an overheating of the asphalt, and based on what we have been advised and read on the subject matter, that asphalt heated beyond a certain temperature, talking in excess of 270 degrees Celsius, that it emits a sulfuric smell, which could be quite nauseating to a lot of persons. We have identified what the problem is. I mean, we have gone through 11, 12, 13 tanks of bitumen out there since we've started this, since we have taken over the asphalt batching plant from Argyle. And even when Argyle was there, IADC, and we haven't had that problem.
Senator Francis also took the opportunity to comment on the recent strike action undertaken by omnibus operators in the Shafts area based on their concerns of poor road conditions. Given an overview of the current road work program taking place and those which have already been completed, Francis outlined that Central Kingstown was one of the first areas to have road work done, even before Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves announced that he had released funds for road repairs totaling some $13 million.
Only part of the project on this, which is in fact the largest one, that has not been started, and I just explained the problem, is from Bronx Hardware up to Trigger Ridge and the hill coming back down to Buchan. That has been in the program. That is $300 and something thousand worth of work, you know. Green Hill Main Road. These are what has been done. Block 2000 up to Bronx, Level Garden, and as I say, Kingston Park. The fellas met me already, have met me on the road, talked to me, boss. Oh God, at least fix the piece come down by Stapy. Now the cross drains at Stapy, the concrete drains have not been done. Sometimes Stapy fix that himself, but I told Stapy I'm going to get it, make sure it's done once we patched out the rest of the areas. But we have done a lot of overlaying from up by Stapy, come down to the grill at the bottom there, and come down to when you turn to go down by Miss Peter's school there.
Francis explained that there have been challenges in getting the job done in the Shaps area.
The problem with fixing roads outdoors is rain, and if rain continues to fall, then you can't get the work done fast enough. I would love to be able to get 3-4 weeks straight of sunshine and dry the fellas like a bull. The president of NOBA called me and said that the fellas were talking about going on strike. I indicated that we have a work program. We have not gotten to that area. In fact, we had a contractor assigned to those roads. But the contractor did not mobilize as quickly as we thought he would have mobilized. I told them cancel it, cancel the contract and get somebody else who can go in immediately. I understand he started to do work today, and they're not ready for hot mix asphalt yet.
The Transport and Works Minister said the omnibus operators need to be cognizant of the fact that Central Kingston is not the only area with bad roads.
But that the works are ongoing. So now that you have seen some intention, I ask of you, give the people of Central Kingston a break. In the areas where the road have not been patched yet, drive slow now. Slow down. You say it costing you parts and so on, but if you slow down, it's not going to cost you so much parts. I've been over this so many times.
The local tourism sector continues to see improvements with a number of measures implemented by the SVG Tourism Authority geared towards improving the country's tourism product. Quality Assurance Manager with the authority, Natalie James Short, outlined to SVG-TV News some of the measures implemented by the authority geared towards boosting stakeholders' capacity to deliver superior service. Short encouraged taxi and tour operators as well as persons engaged in vehicle rentals to register with the authority.
Training in customer service, tourism education, practical tour guiding, training, and Red Cross. It's a component of all of them that you have a Red Cross certificate. So those are the training that we conduct with our stakeholders. This week in particular, the deadline for applications was last Friday. So we have training that is ongoing this week and next week in getting our new applicants to be on board for our new licensing period, which runs from the 1st of November to the 31st of October annually. So for instance, next week we start vehicle inspections with our taxi operators and the tow buses, and those tow operators that have vehicles that they would use in their tow operation, the land tow operation aspect of it.
The Quality Assurance Manager said they have also introduced measures to help taxi operators raise their standards in order for them to gain the confidence of visitors in their services.
But the vehicles at all times should carry this. For the taxis, they are given the lanyard with their photo ID as well. We introduced a photo ID last year. So each taxi operator, once you pay your license, you'd be asked to take a photo, and you'd be given your photo ID as well as the license for the taxi. We have had instances where taxi operators are not necessarily the owners for the vehicles. So we have had where we have to have the owners come and be trained as well, because at times they would be driving the taxi. But if the owners don't come, the taxi operator themselves would be given their taxi license, where they can go and work with another operator should they choose, but the vehicle would not get this sticker because the owner of the vehicle is not trained and certified.
Whilst highlighting the use of the SVG Tourism Authority receipt book, with taxi operators are expected to utilize, Short said thus far the system has been working well.
Whether it's from the airport to the cruise ship terminal or to a hotel, they would issue them a receipt. All taxis should carry this at all times so that they can issue a receipt to the guests. Well, this can help. We do have the rates in place, and we've had issues where persons would say that they've been overcharged and such, so what we've encouraged, especially at the airport, the dispatcher would write the rate on there and give to the guests to take on the taxi with them. That's something that we've encouraged them to do. So that will combat it from there. The same thing is supposed to happen at the cruise ship terminal. These things take time because this was just introduced last year, so it takes time. And we've really had no complaints last year of any overcharging.
Teachers across SVG who continue to make a contribution to the development of the nation through their hard work and dedication in educating the nation's youth have been commended for their efforts. This praise comes from Minister of Education St. Clair Jimmy Prince in his remarks in commemoration of World Teachers' Day. In congratulating this country's educators, Minister Prince acknowledged that the quality of education of a nation is dependent on teachers, adding that the Ministry of Education is committed to boosting the capacity of all teachers.
Let me begin by congratulating all teachers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on this important day celebrated each year on the 5th of October as World Teachers' Day. The global theme for this year's celebration is Teaching in Freedom, Empowering Teachers. This theme is endorsed by the Ministry of Education, who continues to empower our teachers and to strive to provide them with the necessary resources that will enable them to teach in environments that are conducive to learning. The theme chosen supports the Ministry's agenda for this academic year, which includes a series of continuing professional development training sessions for teachers at all levels to empower them to become better teachers. We are cognizant that the quality of our education is only as good as the quality of our teachers. Hence, our focus this year is to make good teachers better and to work with those who have challenges to help them improve their practice.
Minister Prince also took the opportunity to thank retired educators for their contributions and further encourage teachers to continue to mold the nation's youth into well-rounded, law-abiding citizens.
I want to also salute all of the outstanding retired educators who have made and continue to make contributions to the education sector in this country. Your contribution to the development of our nation is much appreciated and recognized. We in the Ministry of Education value all of our retired educators and wish all of you the best on this day. Teachers, I implore you to stay focused on the task at hand. That is, to add value to the lives of the students placed in your care. What you do in the classroom can help or hinder their progress in school. I urge you, therefore, to work with all students in your class to meet their diverse needs and to ensure that you provide them with their literacy, numeracy, and interpersonal skills so that they can function efficiently at the next level. Each teacher has a part to play if we are going to produce citizens who can make significant contribution to the society. As we reflect on the theme, Teaching in Freedom, Empowering Teachers, I urge you to strive for excellence in all that you do.
The Minister of Education added that World Teachers' Day presents teachers with the opportunity to reflect on their challenges as well as on creative means of overcoming setbacks.
Each of us has a role to play if we are going to take the quality of education to a higher level in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Today is a good day for all teachers to do a bit of reflection and introspection and to search for meaningful solutions to help overcome anything that may have hampered you from teaching in freedom and empowering yourself. Let us continue to work together to build a better Hairuna, land of the blessed. As I end, I want to wish all teachers, students, parents, and others a safe and productive World Teachers' Day.
Meanwhile, President of the SVG Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, says the union is delighted to celebrate World Teachers' Day with educators who continue to make an impact on the nation through education. Speaking with SVG-TV, Robinson congratulated hard-working teachers for their commitment, adding that the union is elated at the opportunity to work with local and international stakeholders to aid teachers in their educational advancement, as well as assist in their upward mobility.
And I'm very happy as president of the St. Vincent and Grenadines Teachers Union that we have been creating the opportunities for our teachers to grow professionally so that they could continue the hard work and the great work that they have been doing in terms of contribution towards quality education. As a matter of fact, every year we have been partnering with Walden University, and we have been bringing them into St. Vincent and Grenadines to dialogue with our teachers so that they could take advantage of the opportunities which are available for higher education. Also, as a union, we have been fighting a very serious battle in terms of promotion, because it makes no sense you create the opportunity for higher education, and when the time comes, the promotions are being delayed. So we have been fighting that battle for promotions, upward mobility, because it is also part of the recommendation concerning the status of teachers.
Robinson added that teachers are operating in an ever-changing environment, and as such, the union has been working to implement strategies to boost their capacity to handle any challenge they may face.
We have, as a union, we have introduced inclusive education, ICT, early childhood education, and a whole range of other necessities which the teachers need in order to be a teacher of the 21st century and beyond. Okay? Because we are operating in a global environment and we are preparing students to fit into a global village. So I want to commend our teachers for the hard work that they have been doing, and I want to wish you every success, all the best. Continue to work with the students, the parents, the management of the school and the Ministry of Education as we join hands and hearts together, working collaboratively and cooperatively in advancing quality education for every student in St. Vincent and Grenadines.
As the Counseling Center Marion House celebrates 28 years as an established institution, there is a call for more collaboration with other agencies. Established by the Catholic Church under Father Michael Stewart with assistance from the National Children's Home in Barbados, the non-governmental organization was established to provide youth rehabilitation. Speaking with SVG-TV News, Volunteer Director Jeannie Oliver said that Marion House has evolved into a facility that offers services to drug users and domestic violence victims, among others.
Marion House blossomed as a collaborative effort between the Catholic Church in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, then Father Michael Stewart as representative, and the National Children's Home, which is a Methodist agency based in the UK, then with regional office in Barbados. We were specifically in operation to assist youths with their development, address issues affecting them. And that is why we have something we call the Youth Assistance Program and the Young Parent Empowerment Program, plus the individual, couple, group, whatever counseling that we provide. In addition to that, we also provide therapeutic sessions for drug users and abusers, and there is a domestic violence support group.
Oliver noted that the services are free of cost with a well professionally trained staff.
And all our services are free of cost. Not a dime is being paid to Marion House by anyone that walks through its doors. And that is why we have a staff of 10 with 7 volunteers and 3 paid. Our 2 youth coordinators and our janitor are the 3 persons that are paid, 3 individuals that are paid. The rest of us are volunteers. We have 5 counselors, 3 of us with our masters, 1 with our bachelor, and 1 with a certificate issued by the University of the West Indies. So, we are a professional agency, a professional institution that offers services to the Vincentian public.
Vincentians are being given another opportunity to assist their Caribbean brothers and sisters who are affected by Hurricanes Irma and Maria. The Arch City Entertainment Management Agency will be holding a relief concert this Saturday at the Victoria Park. Speaking with SVG-TV News, Hayden Bilingia, director of the Arch City Entertainment Management Agency, said the concert, dubbed Love Fest, will feature local, regional and international artists and will create an opportunity for Vincentians to show love to their Caribbean neighbors.
We have from the Caribbean region, rising from Trinidad and Tobago, we have Curtis Jordan from Trinidad. We have Defonis also from Trinidad. We have our friend Alison Norville from Barbados and Nature Kid out of Antigua. We also have local artists who will be taking part in this fantastic Love Fest. We have Nadine Howell, Terrell Doraz, GB, Gary Bino, M16, who is Eldon Morris, and myself, Hayden Bilingi. We're going to have a fantastic time where we're going to lift up the name of Jesus. But you're encouraged to come on out and be part of this fantastic love initiative where we're asking you to bring your 3 canned items, that is 3 canned food items, with you in order to enter into Victoria Park. You can also choose to bring a bag of toiletries, which would also give you entrance into the park. So this is your time to show your love and to put your love into action at Love Fest, Victoria Park, 7th of October, this Saturday, 7 p.m. Come on out.
Bilingi added that funds raised from the concert will go towards purchasing food, toiletries and other items for those in need in the affected islands. He said persons can donate these items at the concert.
We are trying to raise as much food items as we can possibly raise. If you know, when you're going through a disaster and you've lost everything, everything becomes important. So we're asking for anything that you can bring with you. But we are asking specific for 3 food can items, bring it along with you, or a bag of toiletries. For those persons who cannot make the event, although I'm telling you, if you don't make it to this event, you're gonna be missing out on a very important concert where you have a combination of local, international, and regional artists. But if you can't make it, you can bring your items to Aeropost Kingstown. We would incorporate them in the barrels, and we'll be sending them off to the islands that have been affected by Hurricane Irma and Maria.